Hello, pre-prep. Well, I've got a new story for today and we'll be using this story for our work for the rest of the week in English. So let's see what it's all about. It's a new story that I've got called Stanley's Stick. I wonder if you can work out what this story might be about. Stanley stands on Stockport Station with his stick. Stanley always carries his stick with him. There he is, look, with his stick. I wonder where they're off to on the train. Stanley's stick was once part of something tall and grand, but it will never return to that. But it can still be a stick as best it can. Stanley has lots of stick activity, like pretending the stick is a whistle or a banana that's quite straight. You don't have to be great to be great. Like pretending the stick is a match to catch the world aflame. There is game after sticky game. Look, it's a dinosaur that isn't extinct. It's a Stickosaurus. Stanley has tried to find some names for his stick. He's tried out Starry and Moon, but those names were all the wrong shape. For a while he liked Stirry, but that's better for a spoon. Stanley's stick is good at writing in the sand, in languages that only Stanley can understand. And 4 times now he has used his stick to pick up slugs from the pathway, platform or pavement, thus saving them from a fate worse than feet. Stanley's friend Bertie has some string, and sometimes they tie the string to the stick's end and pretend to go fishing. Because the fish pretend, no fish get hurt, says Bertie. It's quite important. So here is Stanley standing on the station. Ooh, we're going to find out where he's going to go now. Taking his stick for a short stay at the side of the sea with his mum and dad. The train pulls in. Down at the sea, Stanley goes to the side of the tide. His folks take stock of Stanley standing in the sand, stick in hand. What is he doing? What do you think Stanley might do? Maybe the boy thinks it's time for the stick to be taken for someone else to enjoy. So Stanley hurls his stick into the wide tide. Gosh, what a tiny splosh for something that has been so big in Stanley's days. You see the stick in the water. The sea picks up the stick and tucks it into itself. Stanley is stickless. The next morning, back at their spot on the beach, the tide is out. Stanley treads towards the spreading sea. Boats ride out in the distance. Stanley decides to look for interesting sticks, for other sticks which have been carried on the turning tide. Soon he stumbles upon a stick on the shore. It's quite different from the stick he had before. It's all wonky. Can you see? The stick is an unusual saxophone. Stanley thinks of home and begins to blurt out a tune for Bertie. Now Stanley stares at the sea through his stick telescope. It is wonky. And this stick Stanley knows the name of. I wonder if you can guess what Stanley might have called his stick. It's a good name. He's called it Fantastic. It's Stanley's Fantastic. And there he is on the beach with his fantastic stick. Right then, now I had a quick hunt this morning in my garden to see if I could find any sticks, and I found a small stick. Now don't forget, sticks could be any size. They could be huge, great sticks, or maybe they could be smaller sticks. But I found quite an interesting stick. Mine's got a bend in it, and I thought my stick would be quite good as a slide for Freddy the Frog to slide down. It goes super speedy. That was quite a slow slide, but maybe he could go very fast on it. Right then, today I thought what you could do is imagine if you had a stick. What could your stick be? Now it can be anything at all. You can imagine your stick. You go perhaps find a stick. You might have some sticks in your garden, or you may have the chance to go for a walk and find a stick. And if you do find a stick, have a good look at it. What does it remind you of? So is it a straight stick like Stanley's stick at the start of the story, or is it a wonky stick like the stick he finds at the beach? And imagine what your stick could be. So mine was a slide for Freddy Frog. But your stick could be anything at all. Be really creative and imaginative. And I'd like you to write me a short sentence, draw me your stick as well, and tell me what your stick is. But try to extend your sentence. So tell me your stick is a slide for Freddie to play on. So try and be really creative with it. And remember, of course, those full stops. Fantastic. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.